Hi, alright, today we're going to be talking about nitrous oxide. Now, some basic information. The chemical formula is N2O. Chemical name, dihydrogen monoxide. You see an example of what that would look like in the corner. For slang, a lot of people refer to it as laughing gas, nitro whippet, hippie crack balloons, or buzz bombs. Most people will know this as laughing gas. Many of you have probably experienced the effects of this in a dentist's office. Now, for the illegal street version of this drug that is not controlled, I will be referring to it as Whippet from now on. Now, this is not a controlled substance, but it is under the Food and Drug Administration as well as the Cosmetics Act, and it is a Schedule 4 poison. Now, Joseph Priestley in 1772 was the first person to figure out this chemical. And although he didn't use it for much, he just discovered it. Now, Humphrey Davy discovered its psychotropic properties in 1790s. But it was Horace Wells who used it as an anesthesia in 1844. Now, he was the first person to ever use this in terms of a surgery or operation. It is a colorless liquid, but most people never see it in the liquid form. It is a sweet smelling gas, and some people also describe that it tastes kind of sweet as well. Now to the right, you're going to see a picture of what it would look like in hospitals or in dental's offices. And to the left, you see the illegal version. Now these tiny little silver bottles are used. They're called whippets. And what you would do is you would unscrew the tap and add a balloon on top and fill the balloon with this air and then huff it from there. Now this is a byproduct and it's usually found as a byproduct in the production of chemicals such as nitric acid, which is used to make synthetic fertilizer, and in the production of anthracic acid, which is used to make fibers like nylon and other synthetic things. Now, the main manufacturers of this are Proxor Technology and Oxygen and Argon Works. It can usually be found in the blood or urine shortly afterwards, but after 20 minutes it is usually gone. So you'll not find lingering traces in the hair, and generally after about an hour there is no trace of it left in your system. Now, short-term effects are dizziness, nausea, vomiting, fatigue, sweating, shivering, headache, and paranoia. But long-term you can get anemia or vitamin B12 deficiency. The latter can cause nerve damage, which can lead to a person's fingers, limbs, and toes going numb. Generally, it starts off with a prickling sensation and then goes from there. It is known to kill white blood cells, which will open you up to lots of things of infections. Now to the right, you see one of these things. This is from a treatment center warning people about it. Of course, you see the dizziness, the hallucinations, impaired motor functions, but it also has paralysis, spinal cord damage, brain damage, heart problems, and psychiatric symptoms. Now, at the bottom, you see a brain scan. Now, in picture A is a normal, healthy brain person who has not been taking this drug. And B, you start to see that the brain matter is a lot smaller. There's a lot of dark area that was not there before. And this is caused by, of course, the brain damage. And when pieces and parts of your brain die and rot off, there are a lot of psychiatric symptoms that come from this. Now, generally, for analysis, you can use a gas chromatography thing. And so this would be on the bottom where you see the 2.33 N2O. And at the top, you see what it would look like if you did a blood test. Now, usually people test for this in reference to asthma. There is an issue of reliable tests to the public. There are many companies out there offering these nitric oxide tests, which do not work. This one is a saliva test. Now, to the public, there is no reliable way to test this, and it can only be found in the blood or urine. So the saliva is not going to work. So there are scams out there for desperate parents who want to know, and generally it is very hard because it does go away so fast. Now, this is the second most commonly used drug among 16 to 24-year-olds in England after weed. On average, 5 people die a year after inhaling the gas, and it has caused 25 fatalities between 2010 and 2016. It is a rare form to form an addiction to inhalants, nitric oxide on the side as well. If you were to do rehab, which many people don't do rehab for nitric oxide, generally they do not get the addictive properties of it, but it would be $6,000 for 30 days in inpatient rehab. Now, more than 2.6 million kids between the ages of 12 and 17 misuse an inhalant each year to try mind-altering effects. Now, to the right, you're going to see this poster. This is from the UK. It is such a problem there that police regularly find whippet cans all over with balloons, especially after partying. It is an epidemic over there. And inhalants are the fourth most misused drugs in the country, following alcohol, tobacco, and cannabis. So it is very big everywhere. Now, some penalties. So it is a misdemeanor violation of the Federal Food and Drug Act and the Cosmetic Act, which carries a maximum penalty of 1 year in prison and up to a $100,000 fine. Now, under the 2016 Psychoactive Substances Act, which means that it is illegal to give away or sell. There's no penalty for possession, so you can't possess these whippet cans unless you are in prison. Then that is not allowed. But supply and production can get you up to 7 years in prison, or an unlimited fine, or both. Now, this new Psychoactive Substances Act was created in Los Angeles because they really started to crack down on this. It was such a huge epidemic, and there was no way they could control it without this. And finally, we have some of our sources. Thank you.